Ready? Is it recording? It's already recording. Goodness gracious. Okay. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And on this segment, we will be doing a full service to this car. Engine, oil change, transmission fluid change, and differential fluid change on the 2002 S2000, roughly about 150, a little over 150,000 miles. So doing a service to this car, getting it ready for the winter. So for this car, replacing 3 of the 4 ignition coils. I've already replaced 1, so I only need to replace 3 more. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that so that we're ready for the winter and we're ready for next track season. Hopefully this car gets to see the track in the next spring and or summer. So yeah, without further ado, just gonna get the hood popped. It's already up on jack stands, and yeah, we're gonna get started on this. All right, so first things first, got the hood popped up. Since we are gonna be doing electrical work, being the ignition coils being changed, we're gonna go ahead and undo the battery. I've already loosened the terminals, so I can go ahead and pop off the negative one, and that's fine. Should be good enough. All right, I'll sit there. And also, next step, we're gonna go ahead and locate our engine oil filler cap here. Go ahead and undo it so we can vent that off. All right, so this is your oil pan drain bolt right here. It even says engine oil along the bottom here. It's a 17 millimeter bolt.
Oh, Jesus.
So you can just get that on there. Usually, since I'm not all the way up under the car and I'm just wanting to break this loose, I'm just gonna give this a little tap, and it's loose. And that's all we need to do right now for this step. Next, I will get the drain pan up under here so that we can go ahead and get the fluid drained. What we're going to do now is loosen our oil filter, which is going to be located. Here's your VTEC solenoid right here, your timing chain tensioner, and then your oil filter right here. So we're going to get this off of here. Just going to loosen it up. Looks like it's starting to turn, maybe not, maybe it's a shadow. All right, loosened up. So I can just twist it with my hand. As you can see, I don't have a air box right here. The OEM air box is because I have an aftermarket air filter, AEM V2, with a little cheap Spectre filter on the end, which is fine for now. We're gonna get a different filter and get that fixed up later. But for now, the oil filter is loosened up. Now we can go ahead and go down the bottom and start draining the oil. All right, here we are up under the car again. This is back to your oil drain bolt. It's already loosened up. As you can see, it's already starting to get some oil out of there. What we're gonna do is get it all the way to the point to where you can kind of wobble it a little bit and you know it's gonna come off. And this is just so we don't drop our drain bolt and get it all dirty, and just to make sure we're doing everything as clean as possible. So oil's draining out. 3, 2, 1. Bay, you see the oil's draining. The oil filter's been loosened. All you gotta do now is just finish loosening it up, and the oil will drain out of there as well. As you can see, it's starting to drain. Just want to get that all the way off. You can just dump it down off into the drain. All right. Now we are up under the S2000. draining the transmission fluid. So we just went ahead and skipped past the filling up the oil and stuff like that. It's pretty much everything in reverse. Also in my other video, also showed you how to cap your drain pan, your oil pan, as well as putting on the filter. That pretty much applies to virtually all cars. So here on the S2000 is your transmission drain and fill, or fill and drain, however you want to look at it. It's going to be a 17 mil, at least on this car. It could look like that. It could look like just a 3/8 inch ratchet square, but on this one, this is a 17 mil. So we're gonna go ahead and bust that loose. Whoops, wrong way. Let's see if we can get some torque on it. Hang on. So give it a little hammer here. That one's on there. All right, so we've gotten that 17 millimeter loose here. You can see I can turn it with my fingers. Boom. And now we have to get this loose here. Again, this is just going to be like a 3/8 extension, or if you want to use the ratchet. And that fill bolt was pretty tight on there. Let's see if this needs a little hammering. Yep. So broke that loose. Let's get her out of there. And here we go. Let's get back a little bit just to make sure we get it. All right, so the fill bolt's loose. We can go ahead and take that off. All right. And now we're just gonna get this off here. Sorry about that. And like I've done before, just get it to the edge here. You see it's draining. Oh goodness, that's pretty clear. Okay, and 1, 2, 3. So it wasn't too bad.
Oh, still looks good.
Yeah, still looks pretty good. I can scoop these. All right, so I've already capped off here on the S2000 transmission the drain bolt. Actually, well, I'm thinking about it, so I don't forget. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a little. All right. That's capped off. And so for the S2000 transmission is the same concept as the Subaru rear diff and the S2000's rear differential as well. We're going to be using some genuine OEM Honda manual transmission fluid. Wouldn't put anything else in here. Wouldn't trust it. And this one takes 1.6 quarts, I believe, is the capacity. And we just have to pump until it is good. So away we go. All right, so we are to the rear diff of the S2000 now. So I'm just gonna point out your fill and drain bolts. That's gonna be your fill. It's gonna be your drain right here. This is a 23 mil up here, and that is a 24 mil. So I've already busted this one loose just to make sure it could come loose. Did that a little while ago while the transmission was draining. So that's already loose. That's not an issue. Just gonna go ahead and get that busted loose, and so we can get it drained and refilled with fresh diff fluid, so we can be done with this part of this vehicle's servicing. Probably smell it. Well, my head's next to a freaking bottle of diff fluid. what we're putting in here is Mobil 1 7590. I have not put anything else in here other than Mobil 7590. I've done this once on this car. I don't know what was put in prior. And see, I did my diff fluid on this car roughly 15,000 miles ago, about-ish. The car's over 150 now, so it's just one of those things that's good to do. Some people push it to about 130,000. I don't, or some people push it to 30,000 before they change it. I don't think, me personally, I don't feel comfortable with doing that. I just like to make sure I have fresh fluid. As you can see there, it's not clear fluid, it's dark. We like clear fluid to be in there. So now we are to the fill portion for the differential on the S2000. It is drained out. I have put the drain bowl back. Now I am just filling it. This seems to be a little easier. Instead of trying to run it through the bottom, I just ran it through the subframe, up and around, just so I don't have to mess with it. And the rear diff is just gonna take one of these bottles. I think the spec is like 1.1. So just one of these bottles is fine. And pretty much now I just need to fill this, cap the fill hole, and that'll be it for the fluids on this vehicle. All right, so we are here. We have done engine oil, we have done transmission fluid, and we have done diff fluid. Now is the last part. We're going to take care of a few of these ignition coils. So like I've already pointed out, we have this disconnected. These right here, I'm missing one. I'm going to be purchasing a new set of these, but these right here are 5mm hex head bolts or screws, however you want to call it. And just take those out. I've loosened them to where they're hand loose, and just get at them from the top here. Without doing anything crazy. So just sit those to the side. Don't want to lose them. I've already lost one. All right, and just sit this up here. Now we're looking at our ignition coils. So as you can see, these three are OEM Denso 1, 2, 3. This one is the aftermarket. I just picked it up in the parts store. It's a Delphi. Eventually I'm probably going to be replacing that one with an OEM Denso coil, but for now we're just going to replace these three. These three are more than likely the OEM coils for the car with 150,000+ miles on them. So what I'm going to start doing is getting these popped off here. Just gonna start. Just gonna get them all broke loose real quick. This one tightened down. Ouch, that sucked. All right, those are broken loose. I have to replace one of my connectors as well, because the little clip end on it broke. So that everything on this car is, or most of the stuff on this car is OEM. Get those popped off before we go pulling up on the harness. All right, so these are already broken loose, and they're already hand loose pretty much. And this one is now hand loose. So I'm gonna go ahead, start twisting these off. All right, so here we have OEM Denso coils, and they're just gonna go right here. Very simple. Make sure it's pressed down and seated. One thing to do actually before you get it pressed down and seated, you want to go ahead and get it on there so that it doesn't become difficult once everything is seated and in place. Because once it gets seated and in place, it is a tight fit. So we get it all in there. Boom. That's clipped. That's clipped. That's clipped. And we get them all pushed down real quick. Like that, like so. And then we bolt them down. Everything's connected. And you just pretty much bolt them back down, do everything in reverse. It's a 10 mil socket and a 5 mil hex head bolt for your spark plug cover. And then that should do it. And once we're done here, we're going to get her fired up, get her on the ground and fired up. Silly. Yep, so